Well, hey there. Welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, what you see me doing here is working with some seedlings. These haven't really gotten all that big because they were the ones that are the last of them to germinate. And not all seeds germinate at the same time. Right now, I'm putting leaf compost at the top of the pots as a form of mulch. And the reason why I do that is because these trees, they're not in their natural state or natural environment. The natural environment for these trees is down in the woods where there's a lot of sediment down inside the soils. There's mycorrhizas down inside the soils. There's leaf litter on the top of the soil, and that's their natural area. And what I'm doing is I'm growing them out like a lot of other people, and I'm trying to keep this as close to the natural environment as possible. Now, I've shared on a number of occasions the soil mixture that I use, and the soil mixture itself, down inside the soil, we have composted leaves as well as composted cow manure, trying to keep it as natural as possible and organic. About the only thing that is not organic within this pot, or these pots rather, is potting soil. Pro Mix. That one there can use a little more, and so can that one. Give me just a second. Get them watered. The thing about utilizing the leaf mulch or the leaf compost matter on the top as a mulch is when you water, it'll actually, over a period of time, break down and leach down into the soil, creating a compost type tea. But, you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to come out here and speak with you about seedlings is first and foremost, I'm an admin on the Facebook group Pawpaw Chronicles. And a question had came up on the Chronicles that I had answered through a comment, and it's led me, you know what, let's talk a little bit about starting pawpaws from seed. The question is cultivars versus wild. Well, one thing we have to think about as far as the wild seed, some of your known cultivars did come from the wild. They were discovered out into the wild. Sunflower, Taylor, Tay2, there's a number of them, Overlease. There's quite a few of them out there that actually came from the wild. And over a period of time, what's happened is people have gotten into crossing those with each other, different varieties throughout the country, coming from different areas of the country. Mango's another one that was found in the wild. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, with cultivars and with seed in general, well, you have your wild seed, and then you have your seed select, and then you have what I would call premium seed select. Wild seeds, naturally, you go out and you forage and you collect the seeds and you germinate them. A lot of people do that, and they'll utilize them for root stock, especially if it came from your area. That tells you that it's capable of handling this environment. And then your seed select. Well, the seed select is going to come from what I got going on over there in my small orchard, a mixture of known cultivars. And those known cultivars being inside that orchard, which there's 22 of them, I believe, whenever they pollinate, the pollination is happening all over inside that orchard. But the pollination is coming from known cultivars, cultivars that have been put out by Jerry Lehman, put out by Neil Peterson, and the wild cultivars that we just talked about. But the thing about it is those seeds, generally speaking, you'll get a variation, you may get a variation of the parent tree that the seed came from. So if you've got a seed that came from, let's say, Potomac puts out a large fruit, well, there's a good chance that that seedling may grow and be able to put out large fruit as well. There's a number of them out there that are free stone, which means that you don't have the casing around the seed that you really have to fight with to get out from around that seed in order to clean the seed and get it ready for germination through the process of stratification. Premium seed select. Premium seed select, in my personal opinion, is seed that came from a tree that had been bred particularly from a known cultivar. The pollen from one known cultivar to another known cultivar to try to get that medium in between the two, and those seeds right there is what I would call premium seed select. With that being said, whenever it comes to growing pawpaw trees from what I would call seed select, you don't know what you're going to get. You could end up getting the next big thing, or you could end up getting something worse. It's hard to say, but you'll never know until you grow them out. Out there in my greenhouse, I have seeds. I've transplanted well over 1,200 pawpaw seedlings, and they're ranging anywhere from this size to about 17 to 18 inches right now. And does that mean that these are lesser than the others? No, it doesn't. It just means that the others germinated before these did. And these are still going to end up growing in the greenhouse. Whenever I get done here, I'll move them out to the greenhouse. But it was just something that I wanted to share with you. And getting back to the ones I have out there in the greenhouse, you know, myself and Mr. England of England's Orchard and Nursery, we did an assessment on a fruit that came from a particular tree that I came across last season, and the fruit of that particular tree, that piece of fruit was 1 pound 7 ounce. Large fruit like that carried throughout the entire tree, anywhere from 10.5 ounce to over 1 pound. And the individual that has that tree said he had one even bigger than that he had already eaten. And when we did that assessment, it was a free stone, and it had good firmness to the pulp. Everything about that piece of fruit was point on, right down to the seed pulp ratio. Well, that particular tree came from seeds that were collected down at the Pawpaw Festival, which, by the way, it starts the 13th of this year here in Ohio. And so we can't help but think that that tree came from a known cultivar. To have those genetics within it, it was something. That particular fruit was a treat. And matter of fact, I believe it probably will carry over into its seedlings. And that's the reason why I saved all those seeds from that particular fruit, with the idea of growing them out and even taking a clipping while it's young, once it gets about 18 inches, 2 foot tall, and try to do a graft onto a root sucker to get to that fruiting stage sooner. Of course, when I do that, that seedling that I take the cut off of and that root sucker will be marked correspondingly to one another, to where I'm keeping track of where that particular grafted root sucker's scion that was used came from. With that being said, I hope you all are still enjoying this page. I invite you to come and check out the Pawpaw Chronicles. I also invite you to come down to Lake Snowden in Ohio, September 13th, 14th, and 15th, and check out the festival. I'll be there giving a presentation about root suckers, something that a lot of people know me for. I get these out to the greenhouse. They're ready to go. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. Y'all have a God bless day.